Hello everyone, this is Sandeep from Tutorial Brain, and in this video lesson we are going to master all the important shortcuts in brackets code editor. So let's start. Before we get started, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell icon. Now, if you just open your brackets code editor, you'll see at the top here that we have various options. For example, file, edit, then we have other options, for example, find, view, navigate, and so on, right? Now, if you talk about the shortcuts related to files and folders, so if you just go here, you see that there are some basic shortcuts which are available in almost all the code editors or even text editor. For example, in most of the text editor or code editor, to create a new file, the shortcut is Ctrl N. Similarly, to open a file, it is Ctrl O. And if you just want to close a file, it is Ctrl W. And to close all the files, it is Ctrl Shift W. Now, these are all basic options which are available in all the code editors. Now, the important option here is Quick Open. So, in your keyboard, if you just press Ctrl Alt O, it will open Quick Open option. Okay, so this is a very good option if you quickly want to open a particular file from your current project. So if you see, this is my current project, right? That is brackets. And if I want to open a particular file from this project, you can just select this particular folder. Now, the other option which I just wanted to share with you is if you just come here, the other important option we have is live preview, that is Ctrl Alt P. So you see that in this particular area, that is this icon is for live preview. Now, if I just give Ctrl Alt P, you notice that this live preview is running now. So first let me just close these. Now the next option which I would request you to remember is if you just go to edit, you see that here there are a lot of options. Now in fact what I have done is I have installed a lot of plugins here, and that is the reason it is showing a lot of other shortcuts which will not be available when you will be actually working on your brackets code editor. So let me first do one thing. I'll disable all those extensions which are increasing the number of options there. So I'll just reload without extensions, and I'll just reload the brackets as a normal code editor without any extensions. Now if I just go to edit, now there are a lot of options which has been removed. Now first let me just do one thing. I'll just increase the font here. If I just go to view, you can just see here that Ctrl++ is to increase font size. Okay, so I'll just give your Ctrl++. So this is also a very good shortcut. I would request you to remember this. And if you just give Ctrl 0, you can reset the font. And if you just give Ctrl-, you can reduce the font. So at this moment, let me just give Ctrl 0 to reset it. And then what I would do is I'll prefer some increase in the font. Okay, so that you can see it clearly. Now in edit, there are a lot of options, but I would not request you, or I would not recommend you to remember all this. So important options are, the first one which I'll request you to remember is Ctrl D. So if I just give Ctrl D, you notice that this particular line, that is this particular line number 11, will be duplicated. So if I just give Ctrl D, you notice that it has duplicated this line. Now it is not mandatory that your cursor should be at the end or start. You can place your cursor anywhere and you press Ctrl D on your keyboard and it will duplicate. Now if you just want to put a comment here, so if you just want to comment out this line, you can just give Ctrl and then /. So if you just give Ctrl/, it will comment this line. And notice that if you just give here say Ctrl/, it will comment this line as well. Now if you again give Ctrl and then /, it will uncomment as well. So please remember, so if I just give Ctrl/, it will comment, and again if you just press Ctrl/, it will uncomment as well. So this particular shortcut will work as commenting as well as uncommenting. Now suppose if you have multiple line of codes, for example these two lines of code, if you just select And if you just give control shift and then /, you will be able to comment multiple lines. Now if you just select multiple lines and if you just give control shift and then /, you can uncomment as well. So at this moment let me just comment out, and these three shortcuts are important. And the other option which I just wanted to show you is suppose you want to add a new line after a current line. So say you are here and you want to add a new line. Now you can just give enter, right? But there is another way. You can just give control and enter. Now the difference between normal enter and this control enter is, say if you are here, now suppose you are in this particular position in this line. If you just give enter, you see that, I mean here there is a break, that is end of line, and the next word starts from this particular line, that is next line. But suppose I want to create a new line and I don't want to go to end, but from here itself I can create a new line. For that I can just give control and then enter. So you notice my cursor was here but I created a new line, right? So this is also a very good shortcut. Now suppose if you are here and you want to add a new line before this line, so you can just give control shift and then enter. So you see that now this particular code editor has created a new line. Now notice that it will create a new line only where the scope of the new line is present. For example, if you're here and if you just give control shift and then if you just give enter, it will not create a new line here. I mean it will not do like this. Okay, it will not create like this. So it will only create a new line here where the scope of this will be present. Now if you just want to delete this line, you can just give control shift and D and this will delete the current line. If you want to delete the line, you can just try on your code editor. And the next other option is control C and control X, which you already know. So control C is to copy a particular selection or particular line. For example, say if you want to copy this line, say if I want to copy this line, if I just give control C and if I just give control V, you see that it has copied this line, right? I mean what I wanted to show you that you don't have to select this and then give control C. If you do this, it will copy that particular line. But what this code editor does is you don't have to select this line. So it is also a very good option. If you just give control C, suppose if you are here and if you just give control C, or let's do one thing. Suppose if you want to copy this line, just give control C and then once you come here, you just give control V and you see that it has copied this entire line, right? So this is again a very good feature. And again in the same way, say if you want to do control X to cut entire line, then it is not important that you need to select this entire line. What you can do is you can just give control X and it will delete that entire line, right? Now here if I just want to copy this, so if I just give control C and if I just give control V, so it will paste only this particular word. But if I don't select anything, if I just give control C and if I say if I come here and if I just give control V, it will paste that entire line. So here these entire line has been copied. Now if you go to find, you will find that there are some options. For example, control F, and we know that control F is used to find a particular text or a regular expression. Now I'll not go in detail about regular expression because that is again another topic and I really love regular expression. So if I just give control F, you see that you can find anything, right? So suppose I want to find a word called document, you see that it has highlighted this particular word, right? Similarly, if I just select this particular dot and star, that means I want to find a regular expression. So if I just disable this and if I just enable only this particular thing, that is dot star. Now suppose I want to match a number between 0 to say 255, I can just give here 0 and then hyphen 255. Okay, and whatever numbers are present between these two, it will just match. For example, here you can see that it was div2. So suppose if I just give do 56 and if I just give control F, you notice that it has only matched to 5, right? It has excluded this 6 because 25 is between 0 to 255, right? So this control F is also very good, and you probably must be aware of this. And suppose if I just close this, and if you just want to do a regular expression search, then apart from going like, if I just give control F and choosing this option, what I can do is first let me just come to the default so that I can just show you. So by default it was this text, right? And this was disabled, right? So let me just close that. And if I just give, say, Control Shift and F, you see that it will open this, right? And what this will do is it will do a search in entire project. So in this entire project, if I have this particular expression, for example, let's select this. So you see that it has found these matches in all these files. So this is for entire project. Now let me just close this and just close this. And if I just give Control F, you notice that this will only search in this particular file. Okay, so that is the difference between Control F and then Control Shift F. And say if I have something like this, say here, if I just add something like 1 2 3, okay, and let me just come here, and what I can do is, say if I have just searched for a pattern, for example, if I just give Control F and I have just searched for this pattern. Now if I just give F3, okay, if I just press F3 in my keyboard, what it will do is it will just find the next text or next pattern. So let me just press that F3, and you see that it has selected these patterns. Now we have already seen Control F. Let me just show you another shortcut, which is Control H. So Control H acts as replace. Okay, so if I just give Control H, and you see here, say if I have some text, let's disable. Say if I just want to remove this emit, say if I just want to copy this, and let me just give Control H, and if I just give here emit, and say I want to replace emit with, say, HTML. So if I just give HTML, and there is an option here that replace batch and then replace all. So if I just press replace, it will replace the first match. If I just give replace all, it will replace everything, that is replace everywhere where the word is emit with HTML. And another option we have is batch. So this button will give you some customization option. For example, you can select list of files, or say one file or two files, from where you can replace it. So for example, if I just give replace, you notice that here it has replaced the first match. So if I just give Control H again, so let me just give Control H, and let me just replace this HTML with emit again. So if I just give emit and replace, you see that again it has replaced this. Now let me just give Control H and emit. What I'll do is I'll just replace emit with HTML, and I'll just do replace all, and notice it has replaced all the word names from emit to HTML. And let me just give Control H, and suppose I want to replace the word HTML with the word emit, and I want to select list of files from where I want to remove this. Okay, so let me just select this particular batch option, and you see that it gives me so many options. Okay, so you see that from line number 11, 12, 13, 14, so these all lines contains the word HTML, right? So you can select some lines, or you can deselect some lines. So basically this gives you customization where you can select the lines, or even if you have multiple files, you can select that and then you can replace that. Now let's go further, and let me just close this. Now if you just go to view again, here there are a lot of shortcuts, but the important shortcut which I have shown you at the start is Control and then plus. Okay, if you keep on pressing plus, what it will do is it will just increase the font size. Okay, you notice here. And if I just give Control minus, you notice it will decrease the font size. All right, and in case if you want to reset the font size, you can just give Control and then 0. So this is the default font size in brackets code editor. Again, we have shown you that this feature, that is Control Alt P, is live preview, right? So if I just give Control Alt P, you see that it will just open this live preview. So here there are a lot of options, in which the important options are live preview, then we have increase font size, decrease font size, and then restore font size. And then these options, I mean hide sidebar and toggle panels, these are also good shortcuts, but those are not that much important, okay? But as per my personal choice, the shortcuts which are important is Control plus plus, Control minus, Control 0, and then live preview feature. And in fact, sometimes I do use this shortcut, that is no distractions, that is Control Shift 2. So if I just give Control Shift 2, you notice that the sidebar is gone. So if I just give Control Shift 2 again, you see that the sidebar is now again present. So this is also a good option. And again, one other option which I just wanted to show you is this particular option, that is live preview highlight. Okay, so if you notice, if you just disable this, so at this moment it is enabled. So that means, see, if I just go to my output, if I just select this, you see that if I just select this line, it is highlighting this particular area. Okay, if I just select this, it will highlight this. So if I just select this, it will highlight this entire div. That means this is my code. So if I am here now, if I just go to this particular div, okay, then you see that I am here. Let me just select, for example, let me just select this particular div. So HTML demo for CSS. So I think it is a H1 tag, or it can be H2 tag. So if I just go to my code editor, now you see that automatically the cursor comes here. Now if I go back here and say, if I just bring my cursor here, so you notice the cursor will automatically come here. So this is also a very good feature. Now if I just disable it, I mean if I just disable this feature, that is live preview highlight, if I just disable it, or if I just uncheck it, now if I just go to my browser, you see that it is not able to highlight. Okay, so it is not able to show my cursor position. Okay, so if I am here, HTML demo for CSS, you notice the cursor is here, and if I just click here, now the cursor will be here. So this will work, but it will not highlight here. So let me just show you again what I meant. So if I just click on this option, if I just check this option, now if I just come back here, you see that I'm able to highlight this. So these all options are important. And the next set of shortcuts which I just wanted to show you is, if I just go to navigate, here there are a lot of options again. Now here the most important options which I like is Control Shift O. Anyways, I have already discussed, because that was related to file, and here we don't have any option, that is Control Shift O, but I've already shown that option. For example, if you just give Control Shift O, you will see that it will open this these list of files. So if you want to refer some files quickly, you can just give quick open option, and then you can just open the list of files from here itself. Now if you want to go to a particular line, now suppose you are here, and if you want to go to say line number 24, so what you can do is you can just give Control and then G, and here you can just give 24. Okay, so you see that automatically you come here. But again, I don't use this option, because anyways, if I just want to come here, I can just bring my cursor here, and then it works. So instead of again typing Control G and then again there I have to type 24. So this option I would not suggest you to remember. That is, if you just go to this second option, that is go to line, I would say do not remember this. Instead, you can directly use your cursor. Now the next option we have is Control T. Okay, so this shortcut is also important. So this is shortcut for quick find definition. So this is also a good shortcut, and again related to this particular option. So first let me just press escape so that I can just come out. Now suppose I want to go to the next set of documents in my list. So if I just give Control, page up or page down. So if on page up, it will go to the previous document. Page down, it will go to the next document in our list. So if I just give Control and say, if I just press page up, you notice I was earlier in index.html and now I went to emmet.html. Now from here again, if I just press control page down, it will go to index.html, and again if I press control page down in my keyboard, it will go to style.css. right? Now from here, if you again press control page down, it will go back to the emmet.html because this is the last document in the list, right? So this is also a very good shortcut. And one very important shortcut which we have is Control E. Now Control E is for quick edit feature. And suppose you are in HTML file. Okay, so suppose you are here, and let me just see my style.css. So first let me just do one thing. Let me just add something. For example, let me just say body, and say if I just give background color, and if I just add say gray, okay, just save it. And say if I am here, and if you just are in this body tag, and if you want to edit this the CSS related to this body tag, then instead of going to the style.css here and then changing it, what you can do is you can just bring your cursor here anywhere between these this body tag, and you just press Control and E in your keyboard. So this is called quick edit option. Now here, first of all, I'll just show you, like at this moment this color is gray, right? Now here itself I can just change the color. So if I just say for example orange, and you notice it will show this orange color now, right? So let me just save also, so you can save it from here as well. So I have just given Control S in my keyboard. So once you press Control S, it will save this file as well. Now to close this file, you can either click on this cross button, or you can just give escape in your keyboard. So let me just press escape in my keyboard, and this quick edit option is closed. Now there is another option, that is Control K, and Control K is very good option if you want to see the quick documents. So for example, say if I'm here and if I just give Control K, you notice that it has opened the tag related document for this particular body tag. So it will tell you the details about this body tag, what exactly is body tag, and if you want to read more, you can just click here, and it will lead you to developer.mozilla.org, and you can read from there. So to close this, I'll just press escape in my keyboard, and these are options which are very important in this navigate. And there are some options related to cursors. For example, say you are here, I mean you are at demo or just after demo, and you want to move to the next word. Now you can just come here and then bring your cursor, or the other option is just press Control in your keyboard and then the right arrow. Okay, so if you just give right arrow, you see that you are now in the next word. Similarly, if you press right arrow again, you are at the end of CSS. Similarly, if you keep on pressing the next arrow, it will directly go one word ahead. Similarly, if you press left arrow, it will keep coming to a previous word. So Control right arrow is to move to next word, Control left arrow is to move to previous word. Now to move to the end of the current line, for example, say you are here, okay, and the first option is like in Windows we have an option in the keyboard itself, that is end. So if you press end, you will come at the end of the line, or if you press home, you will come at the start of the line, right? But if you don't like this option, or some keyboards say if they don't have this particular option, or home or end key is not working, then in that case what you can do is you can just press Alt and then right arrow. So if you just press Alt and right arrow, you will move to the end. Similarly, if you just press Alt and left arrow, you will come to the home, I mean at the start of the line. And say if you want to come to the start of this entire document, for example here, okay. Now the first way is like you can just bring your cursor here, but using shortcuts you don't have to even touch your mouse. Say if you are here and if you just press home button, right, you will be here itself, right? Now aim is to come here. So what you can do is you can just press Control plus home. So if you just give Control home, you see that you have come here, And actually this option is present in almost all the text editors or code editors, so this is not a special option only in brackets, but yes, you can still use it. And if you want to go to the end, you can just give control end and you can just come to the end as well. Right now let's discuss about the shortcuts related to selection. Okay, so say I'm here. First let me just zoom, so I'll just give control plus plus so that you can see clearly. And say I'm here and I want to select this line as well as the next lines. So if I just give control L, you see that I have selected the current line. If I again press control L, I'll select the next line. So if I keep on pressing control L, I'll select the next, all the next lines. So all the subsequent lines you can select using this. And another option is, say if I'm here and if I just give control B, you notice it has selected this particular word demo. Again if I just press control B, again it has selected demo, again demo, again demo, demo. So if you want to select a particular selection, for example, say if I want to select this word HTML, if I just give control B, again if I just give control B, if I keep on pressing control B, it will select all the words with name as HTML, okay, in this entire document. And another option which I personally like is, say if I have a list, say if I have something like, say I have an ordered list, and inside that say I have some list of items. So say if I have this li, and say if I have li again, and let me just do control D to duplicate. Okay, so say I want to add some item, okay, here, and just to showcase you or just to show as an example, say I want to add the same item. Okay, so what I can do is I'll just click Alt button in my keyboard and I can just drag my cursor the same line. So what will happen is, if I just write, for example, say HTML, you notice that it will write HTML for all these lines. Similarly, if I just click Alt and if I just say if I'm here and if I just click Alt and I can just drag it here like this, and if I just press delete button in my keyboard, you see that it has deleted the word HTML from all the lines. So this is HTML, and again if you want to delete it, you can just bring your cursor here and press Alt in your keyboard and then drag using your mouse. So this is how you can just use this cursor selection as well. And let's talk about indentation. So let me first save this file. Now suppose I want to say I have one paragraph here. So say I have one paragraph here. Welcome to tutorial brain. Okay, now I have this p tag, and after that we have div tag. Now what I want is, I want to move this div tag before this p tag. So first just to make it very clear, what I can do is, let me just remove the excess spaces, okay, so that code looks very clean. Now if I just press Control Shift and then upper arrow, I mean top arrow in your keyboard, so if I just give, say if I'm here, okay, and I want to move this div before this p tag, so if I just give Control Shift and then top arrow, you notice that this particular div tag is now before this p tag. Similarly, if I just give Control Shift top arrow, now again p tag will move before div tag. Okay, so this is also a good shortcut. And similarly, if you want to move p tag after this div tag, you can just give Control Shift and then bottom arrow, and this will also bring the p tag after this div tag. Now again, to indent the code, if I just select this and if I just give Control and if I just select start of this square bracket, so you see that it has indented this code towards the left side. And if you want to indent the code to the right side, then for example, say if I just press tab, you notice that the entire list of code moves to the right. Similarly, it will keep on moving to the right. And say if I am just having a code like this, say if I have this, and now these two lines are here, right? And I want these codes to move to left side. Now please notice, if you select everything and if you just give control and then start of square bracket, it will keep on moving to the left side. And only if you want to move these two lines, what you can do is you can just select these two lines and give control and then start of square bracket. Okay, so this is also good. And if you want to move to right, you can just give control and then end of square bracket, and it will move to right side. So we have seen enough shortcuts about brackets code editor, and the next set of shortcuts are related to debug. So here the most important options are F5. Normally what I do is, in case I'm having any issues with my extensions, I'll do a refresh of this code editor. So if you see, reload with extensions is F5. So sometimes I'll press F5 if I want to reload my brackets code editor with all the extensions. And if I don't want to use the extensions, I mean, if I just simply want to reload code editor without an extension, I'll just press Shift F5. Okay, so these two options are important. And then F12 is also good. So it will show the developer tool. It is like Google Chrome developer tool. Okay, so it is not exactly like that, but yeah, it is little closer to that. And in the help, so most of the code editor, if you press F1, it will just start the help. So here they have named it as bracket support. So with this, we have come to the end of this bracket shortcuts, and I'll upload all these shortcuts in our website, that is Tutorial Brain, and I'll just give you the link as well. So you can just go there, and in case if you want to understand more about all the shortcuts, or if you want to refer again, you can just click on that link and you can just refer it again. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So remember to practice all these shortcuts, and I'll see you in the next video lesson. Leave a comment below if you have any question. I will try to answer it. So thanks for watching it. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Take care. Bye.